Look, I'm basically a Navy SEAL without any of the training. All right, what are we talking about today? I just made that up before I filmed. I didn't think it would get me so good. All right, we're talking about ChatGPT today. Have you heard about it? So there's a really cool update in ChatGPT 4.0 that I think almost no one has figured out. I mean, I just kind of figured it out recently. So that means that no one knows about it. I don't talk with anyone, so how would I know? But really what I want to do is I want to dive into the possibility of what's coming with ChatGPT and really how much data it can synthesize from the web. Because when I do my large-scale data projects now, I'm doing this at a row-by-row level. So I ask questions at the row level. But I think that ChatGPT is eventually going to be able to destroy me. It's not going to be tomorrow, but it'll be quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how I use ChatGPT to invent the signals where I can find information, how I should think about prospecting, because remember, it has all of the context of human knowledge built in. That means that you can ask questions that you would never ask Google. You can ask very complicated questions. So I'm going to walk you through a workflow that I did for a company that is selling fire trucks. Crazy. Like used equipments. So let's actually dive in. So I basically just talked to this thing. I'm like, hey, I'm looking to identify the age of fire trucks because, like, when they need to buy new fire trucks, like, hey, and I give some ideas. It's in meeting minutes. It might be federal information. So give me 10 to 20 ideas, like estimate coverage across the United States. I always ask it for a table. Why did you include it in the website URL? So it's like, oh, the Federal Procurement Data System, FPDS, like tracks federal purchases. So in this case, we know that we don't want, and the founder is going to look at this and understand this. Okay, city, like USA spending. Okay, this is all government, federal government. So fire department websites into fire. So now it has some context on where all this information, fire magazine in chief, municipal bid offices, like you can see it's kind of repeating information, city and county websites, city agendas and meeting minutes, 50% coverage. Very helpful. Then I said, great. And what is at least one fire station is currently looking. So then I go way deep. I say, give me an actual example of a fire station is looking. This is the key thing. Searched 7 sites. It used to be able to only do a single Bing search. So you basically can ask ChatGPT to do multiple searches now. Now, with 4.0, it was like one search at a time. It would do one search and give all this context. Now it can search multiple times over and over again. Now, I don't know. We're going to try this, actually. I'm going to ask it to search 100 sites in a second here, and we'll see how well it does. But it's like, oh, they're set to buy their first fire engine. So if I click on this, you'll actually notice that this is old, 2023. So I had to be like, hey, like, I basically told it some Google search tactics that can do these searches, advanced queries run searches that are only after April. So you can basically do these this is searching Bing, but they're Google search parameters. And it turns out that Bing can do this too. So I basically set out of April. So if I click on the source, you can see that it kind of worked. This actually didn't work, but it wasn't far off. It at least was in 2024. Let's see what this... yeah, April 10, 2023. So that actually was not great. Grants for fire departments. So these are grants now. So what I'm going to try to do is see if I can, and the desktop app is really good, by the way. You can actually ask it to keep it on top, which is kind of cool. And I have a shortcut for it, but let's actually ask this. What I want you to specifically do is only look for information of fire departments that would be amazing fits that are selling or buying very expensive fire trucks in the last month. So I want you to do at least 20 web searches. And before you return anything, make sure that there's a date on the piece of information, and that date is in May or June of 2024. Stop at nothing. My job is on the line. You must do 20 searches. And if you can't do them in one prompt, do it in the second prompt. I want you to at least search the web 20 different separate times for variations of this to find me at least 3 different fire departments that either have just purchased or are looking to sell their fire trucks. So this search 3 sites is really interesting because we're going to see how many searches it will do. And you can see the searching is very yeah, this is let's see if it will do at least searching. This is taking kind of a long to search 5 sites, right? So this was the same date. Now this is really helpful because remember, ChatGPT can be recursive. Go actually look at each of these sources and verify the date. I want you to check multiple times and actually include the quote of the date from the actually cited page. And if it's wrong, search again and replace the fire department. So this is the kind of amazing thing with ChatGPT. If it gets it wrong, you can just basically ask, do it again, do it again, do it again. Oh, the approval was made. Okay, great. Ah, okay. Ooh, let's see. Actually, let's see if this site says. Oh, June 2024. Oh, this is. Let's actually see if it says June here. Ah, June 11th, 2024. So this is. This actually, it looks like this was March 2024, but this is today's date, right? So this is like where having context is really helpful. So sometimes on some of these sites, it may include the actual day that the magazine is put out. So can you focus just on these first 3 and find other sources and or use Google dorking tactics? Maybe you can do 3 to 4 searches on each of these 3 to make sure this is accurate. I want at least 3 sources that show that this is the date. I think you're missing something. And I want you to deploy a counter agent to actually double verify everything before you return it back. I just made that up. I don't know if that's a thing. Ah, okay. Well, this is interesting. Oh. Oh, this is kind of interesting. They have other information here. Maybe this is right. I'd have to spend some more time looking at this. Oh, finalized in May. So you can see search 6 sites. So I think the most we've ever searched is 6 sites. Maybe that's kind of a limit. I haven't ever seen more than 6, I think. Search 7 sites. So you can kind of see, though, how you can ask ChatGPT to do some really interesting things. And I think as 6 sites become 60 and 80 and 1,000, suddenly ChatGPT is going to be the only tool that you will ever need when you can ask it to spend a lot of time doing these small tasks at scale. Because you could kind of imagine a world where if you get this search right and if it can start consolidating information, you're not going to need a blueprint GTM. Wah, 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 wah. You're going to need a ChatGPT GTM but this is the type of prompting that will get us there. And at 6 sites, I mean, it's not a lot, but you can kind of see how making sense and structuring the data in the world will move us from a world of databases to a world of data at your fingertips, of live data. This is kind of what it'll look like. Have a wonderful night.